This is not high-speed rail, as Teresa points out. This is Amtrak. This is Amtrak to probably Minneapolis, hopefully. And the question is Amtrak what we want? It is, I think, a very valuable tool from Milwaukee to Chicago because nobody wants to deal with Edens and nobody wants to deal with, Chicago traffic where you can take a trip that turns into 2.5, 3 hours. But, Milwaukee to Madison is a whole different deal. I drive that more than probably anybody else in this room. And I can tell you that, except for John maybe, and I can tell you that that's pretty slick. You get in your car, you're on I-94, you're in Madison an hour and 10 minutes later, and you're parking where you're supposed to park, and you're going to the meeting where it's supposed to be. And Teresa points out the logistical hassle. I don't even, if it's at Monona Terrace, it's better. But there's a logistical hassle involved with getting to where you're going from a fixed point when you don't have, on the other end, a multimodal model like there is all over Europe. We don't have that here. We made that decision in Milwaukee in the 1950s, right? When they took down all the streetcars, that decision was made. We went with the car over the train. And, to a large extent, putting that genie back in the bottle is enormously expensive. The net of it is that I think this is a very expensive model. I think we have other transportation needs. This is, just so everybody's clear about one thing, the legislature was never consulted on this. This was a decision that was made by the federal government and the executive branch of the state. So it's disappointing to me that this has kind of turned into a, we're doing it, I don't care what you say. But that's unfortunately the world we live in today out of Washington. So it's disappointing. I think, I think it's been wildly oversold as high-speed rail, and it's enormously expensive. Not to mention the ongoing costs of managing the platforms and managing the rail lines over time. I don't believe there's a funding model from Washington that says they're going to pick it up. So ultimately, Wisconsin taxpayers are going to be on the hook for a lot of money.